friends, it's your girl Fola here and you're welcome back to my channel, Divine Fola Stitches. Today's tutorial will be on how to make a keyhole cowl kaftan dress. It will be a long dress. You can also make it as a short dress. And one essential measurement you will need is the measurement from your center back to wherever you want your sleeve to get to, just like as you can see it on the picture. So take the measurement of where you want your sleeve to get to from your center back. So before we get right into it, if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please do that now. Click on the subscribe button down below and subscribe. Also turn on the notification bell so you get notified each time I upload a new video, which I do every week. So without further ado, let's get right into it. As you can see, I have some markings on my fabric, and this is a 3-yard fabric which I already folded into 4. So I folded the 3 yards into 4, as you can see. There you see it. So I folded it into 4. And what can also determine the amount of fabric you will fold is whatever you have, whatever measurements you have from your center back to wherever you want your sleeve to get to. For mine, it is 22 inches plus 1 inch seam allowance. That is 23 inches, which is what I have right here. Can you see it? So this is my starting line, as you can see. So I have right here 23 inches. And also for the vertical measurements, I have right here from the starting line, which is also my shoulder line, I have 14 inches. How did I get this 14 inches? My under bust measurements, that is the measurement from the nape of my neck to my under bust, is 13 inches. So I added 1 inch to it. That is how I got this 14 inches right here, which I ruled into a straight line. And also I have the measurement for my hip, vertical hip measurements. That is the measurement from the nape of my neck to my hip, which is 25 inches, and I added extra 2 inches to it. So that is 27 inches, which is what I have here. So this will help to determine how I want my cowl to fall. So I added 2 inches. You can just make it the length of your hip, that is the vertical length of your hip line, but I added 2 inches to mine. So that is how I got this 27 inches. And the length of my dress is 56 inches. That is seam allowance inclusive. Can you see it? I have right here 56 inches. Now going over to the upper part. Now for the under bust, which I added 1 inch to, that is where the keyhole will be. So the first thing I will do now is to insert quarter of my waist measurements. So my waist circumference measurements divided by 4, which is 7 1/4 inches. 7 1/4 inches plus extra 2 inches. You know it is a free dress, so there will be a keyhole which you can use your belt with if you like. So I will add extra 2 inches to it, which will be 9 1/4 inches, which is the measurement I will insert right here. Can you see it? 9 1/4 inches is what I have here. Then on the hip line, I will also insert 9 1/4 inches, or I'll make it 9 1/2, or you can just make it 10. Let me make it 10 inches right there. Then for the keyhole, I'll just make it, I'll go up by 1 inch. I'll make the total keyhole 1 1/2 inches or 2 inches. So 1.5 inches will be towards the upper part, and the remaining ½ inch will be towards the lower part. Can you see it? So I'll just make a circle in like manner. Can you see that? So this will be the keyhole. Then for the sleeve opening, wherever you want your sleeve to get to, just take the measurements round there to determine what your sleeve opening will be. Mine is 11 inches. So I'll divide that by 2. That is 5.5. But I will add extra 1 inch to it. So that will be 6.5 inches. So that will be my sleeve opening, because I will be taking ½ inch right here. So 6.5 inches, or I'll just make it 7, because it is not going to be tight. So 7 inches will be for my sleeve opening. Let me just rule a straight line down there. So this will be my sleeve opening. Then for I have right here 10 inches. I will also insert that same measurement to the lower part, that is the hem. So 10 inches right here. Or for the hem, just to make it a bit easy to move with, I'll just make it 11 or 11.5 inches. That means I'm adding extra 1.5 inches to what I have right here. So 11.5 inches, and I will connect it. I'll connect it with my straight ruler. Now going over to the cowl area, let's form the cowl right there. From my sleeve opening, right here, you just make a curve, just in a curvy manner. Can you see it? Just connect it to this point. Make sure it blends with this line right here. Can you see it? Can you see how I curve it? Don't forget, this is my sleeve opening, so I made the curve in like manner. You see. Now going over to the neckline, I'll take a neck width. Let me just insert the 3 inches standard first to get my shoulder slope, and at this point I'll come down by 2 inches. Then connect it. This is to determine the shoulder slope. You know, the human shoulder is slopey, it is not straight. So this is an essential part as well. So I'll take a neck width of 3.5 inches. So 3.5 inches or 3 inches is okay, because I wouldn't want it to be too wide. And for the neck depth, I will also take 3 inches for the neck depth. So I'll be making the same neckline for both the front and the back, which will be a round neckline. So I'll use my armhole cuff for the neckline. Let me see it. Now we are through with the drafting. So this will be the keyhole. Can you see it? You can make it wider or smaller than this, but this is okay. Let me see. Now I will cut it out first with the neckline. By the time I want to cut the shoulder area, I will leave like ½ inch gap half-inch allowance rather to join both shoulders together. So can you see it? I will cut it in like manner, cut through the cowl. Can you see how it is formed already? Then down to the hem before I come back to the keyhole. So let me cut. So for the sleeve opening, I said I will be taking, the sleeve opening will be 7 inches. So I will just notch it or clip it right here. So I will know where to aim as my sleeve opening and where to start sewing the cowl area from. So guys, after cutting it out, can you see this is what we have? So the next thing now is to cut the keyhole. And how do you cut that? You just pick it in like manner and cut it out. Just take your time at this point. Can you see? This is what we have for the keyhole. So by the time we stitch it, it will be wider. But if you want it to be wider, you can just cut it wider. Let me cut a bit at this point. So for the stitching, going over to the stitching, the first thing you will do is to, can you see how it looks? Can you see? So the first thing now I will do is to take it to the sewing machine and taking ½ inch I left for the shoulder allowance. I will stitch ½ inch on both sides and also finish up the neckline with a bias strip. So I'll be using the same fabric. I just cut out a strip from the same fabric, so you can make use of any bias strip to turn the neckline. You can even fold it in all through. So I'll go and do that now. Finish up the stitch up the shoulder and also finish up the neckline with a bias strip. And for the sleeve opening, you can see I notch where my sleeve opening will end. Can you see it here? So I'll just fold it in. Since I added 1 inch seam allowance, so I'll just fold it twice all through. After stitching up the shoulder area, I will stitch it up. So I'll go and do that now. So guys, I've finished up the neckline with a bias strip. Can you see it? And also hem the shoulder and the sleeve opening. You can see I just fold it in twice. Can you see the 1 inch allowance I added to the measurement from my center back to where I want my sleeve to get to? So I just fold it twice for both sides. Now going over to the, so this is the cowl area. It will fall by the time I take it in. I stitch it at that point. So going over to the keyhole, you can just finish it up with a bias strip as well, but it will not be as neat as you would want it. So I will advise you don't do that. So this is the right side of the dress. This is the right side. So what we are going to do, what I will advise you do, which I will also be doing, is to stitch it in. So you open it to the wrong side in like manner. Can you see it? And pick the keyhole, make sure the right sides are facing each other in like manner. Can you see it? So this is the right side when I dip my finger in. So this is the wrong side, this is the right side. So I'll pick it in like manner. Can you see? I'll make sure right sides are facing each other. Can you see it? And I will stitch it through, just taking quarter inch is okay. So I will just stitch it through. At this point you have to be very careful. So I'll just stitch it all through. At this point, make sure right sides are facing each other round. I will also do the same for the other part, for the second keyhole. So I will go and do that now, and folding, taking ½ inch allowance from my sleeve opening. At this point I will take in ½ inch or quarter or 3/4 inch, rather ½ inch or 3/4 inch from my sleeve opening. I will stitch it in. I will hold it in like manner to the hem. Can you see it? And also finish up the hem. I will fold the hem and finish it up and show you the final look. So guys, this is the belt hole. Can you see it? When you are stitching through the belt hole, you have to take your time, and also after stitching it, just give it a notch all through carefully so you won't cut through the seam. Let me just turn it to the wrong side so you can see how I did it. So can you see it? Just stitch it all through and notch it. Can you see? Just notch it slightly. So I also stitched the sides. I took in ½ inch seam allowance to stitch the side. That is from the sleeve opening. I use 6½ for my sleeve opening. Can you see? So can you see it? And I stitched the remaining. I took in ½ inch all through to the hem on both sides. Can you see it? All through to the hem. And I also fold in the hem. Can you see? And we are through with our keyhole cowl kaftan dress. So you can just get the same fabric and just cut a long strip and make it as a belt. You can make it as a belt or use any belt of your choice. You can also use something like this. Can you see it? So just experiment with however you want to make use of it. So by the time you insert your belt, it will look like this in like manner. Can you see how beautiful it is? So I'll just give it a good press now, and our dress is ready. So guys, we've come to the end of today's tutorial. If this tutorial has been helpful, kindly give me a giant thumbs up. And if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please do that now. Click on the subscribe button down below and subscribe. Also turn on the notification bell so you get notified each time I upload a new video. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!